amazing. Do not know what all the troubles are for. Fall asleep in your branches. You're the only thing I ever want anymore. Now we'll leave the silver city, 'cause all the silver girls gave us black dreams. Leave the silver city to all the silver girls. Everything means everything. I was afraid I'd eat your brains. I was afraid I'd eat your brains. 'Cause I'm evil. 'Cause I'm evil. 'Cause
Hi, I'm Phoenix Wolf. I'm from Halifax. You're listening to the Unified Field. Okay, that's good.
You are listening to the Unified Field.
Yes, you are. Welcome back to the Unified Field. I'm your host, Mr. Justin Brown, formerly of the Most Ghosts. Now I've cleaned my closet, and I'm coming at you loud and strong here on the radio. 88.1 FM, Dalhousie Campus University, from beautiful and coastal and scenic Nova Scotia. It's nice having guests in the studio. I try and have guests in the studio whenever I can. And I've had some interesting guests. Never groupies, though. That's interesting. It's fun having you here, Jordy. Do you have anything picked out you want to listen to?
No.
Well, there's a lot to talk about, so that's probably a good thing. I kind of want to do a public service announcement quickly here for Nova Scotia. And let you know that this is the last day for City in Color tonight. It's the last free concert of the Canada Games Series. So it's probably, when does that happen? It's over. I think it happened at like 7 o'clock. But anyway, it's been awesome. The 2011 Canada Games they've had an awesome free concert series. I saw Old Man Ludica with my girlfriend and my son. It was a really great time. And I wanted to see Buck 65 and Rich O'Coin the next night. Love Buck 65. And Rich O'Coin's great too. But I had an equally astounding night, finishing the first Harry Potter book with my son and partner, and watching the movie for the first time. And he was blown away by Harry Potter. And I think that's such an important book for the generation it came out for and the generations coming up now. The whole idea of magicians living among normal, human beings here on Earth. People who are just oblivious to the idea that magic really happens. And the magicians, the participants, the people who believe and make these things happen and go to this magical school and learn all the tricks of the trade. And it's just a great book. So we had a great time. What I want to talk about, well, we don't have a whole lot of time to tell you the truth. I should be doing this interview because we're running out of time. I always get put back a few minutes coming into the studio trying to set things up after the island switch. But I had a talk with the guys last time, and they helped me out, and we've met in the middle. And so there's about a 10-minute breakdown now where the gear goes out and my setup goes in and I'm on the air. So I want to thank those guys because they have one of the greatest shows here in Halifax. It's really high octane, really high energy, and they have a lot of fun doing it. So thanks to those guys. Oh, right. Last episode on the Unified Field, I spoke about the Kepler telescope finding evidence of 1,200 new planets, in which 54 of those were in the Goldilocks zone, the habitable zone, which is really remarkable if you think about that. I mean, the Drake equation was already changed from its original equation, which is the mathematical equation that, calculates the probability of intelligent life existing in the universe. And when that equation came out, it shocked the world, because basically what it proposed was that the universe was teeming with life. And then recently, I think it was just this year, we realized that the universe is 3 times larger than we ever thought it was. So the Drake equation got amplified again. Now, this Kepler telescope finds out that, they just discovered 1,200 new planets, in which 54 of those could be habitable. Incredible. But what I did mention on the last program was that what this actually translates to, for all the laymen out there, and it's incredible, is that 1 in every 2 suns most likely has Earth-like planets circling it. You think about that. 50% chance. 1 in every 2 suns probably has an Earth-like planet. Incredible. In the habitable zone at that. Just incredible. Slowly, it's being revealed. Very interesting stuff. You can check that out. Go to thetelegraph.co.uk. Of course, all of these stories that I talk about on the air, I put into the show notes, and I blast up to the blog spot. Whenever I put an archived episode on YouTube or MySpace, I put a blog post up there of the show notes. Once all of these episodes get up to iTunes, of course, I'll have to speed things up a lot more, because the podcast will be coming up, and people will want to know the track listings and the stories and the sources for all these. All of the URLs are included in the story, so you can link directly to those. I was supposed to set up some links, too, when I do Michael Horn's show notes. He sent me some links that help take you directly to these great stories without having to rummage around through theyfly.com to find all these things. So, that being said, Blog Talk Radio, I do that on Sundays. It'll be tomorrow night. I already mentioned that. But there's some other great shows on Blog Talk you can check out. You can sign up, become a member, and even maybe host your own show at some point. There's been a lot of great shows on there. That's where I discovered, actually it was iTunes that I discovered Open Minds and UFR Radio. But then I realized that they also broadcasted through Blogspot. So I went there, and there's a whole bunch of great shows you can check out. Star Theory with Kyle Hunt, Dark Matter, Otherworld Radio, the Arizona UFO Paranormal Show, Matrix Radio, Rainbow Visions, and more. There's so much to check out. Become a radio host. Talk to the world. Get up off your keister and do it. So, that being said, this is a really interesting story that I found from NewJersey.com, NJ.com, from February 18th of this year, 2011. David Huggins of Hoboken, New Jersey, the artist and abductee, held an art exhibit at a salon last week, showcasing his experiences with extraterrestrials. This is pretty cool. Now, when I first heard this story, I heard, people kind of making fun of his paintings, but I went on there and checked out his paintings, and some of them are quite amazing. Like, he's a trained artist. If you read the article, if you go to nj.com or the show notes, whenever those are up, you can get a direct link. Just Google it. You'll find him. David Huggins Art Exhibit, Hoboken. That'll take you directly there. Look at the paintings. I mean, at first glance, some of them look pretty amateur, but there's a few of them there that really show some artistic merit, and I thought they were quite nice, to tell you the truth. His story is that he's been experiencing this since he's been 8 years old, when he saw what he describes as, quote, a little Bigfoot. And over the years, he's encountered more ETs, the Greys being the most prominent. And one of his paintings, called The Packaged Grey, depicts a female alien holding a hybrid inside some kind of container, one of 60 that Higgins says he's fathered with a woman he calls Crescent. Very cool guy, very interesting. I have a bunch of his pictures that I've linked that I'll put in the show notes as well. And there's even a book written about this guy. I think it's only something like 70 pages or so, by Farah Yurdozu, or Farah Yurdozu. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Yurdozu. It's called Love in an Alien Purgatory, The Life and Art of David Huggins. So check him out. Very interesting character and some neat artwork. This is really interesting. There's been a UFO in Peru nearly striking a plane, and there's a YouTube attached to this, a YouTube video. And I was drawn to this because my partner's heading to Peru to climb Machu Picchu with her father, who's in his mid-60s. Amazing. Just incredible. Trip of a lifetime. And I said, if for God's sakes, like, this has been one of my dreams to go down there. If you go there, like, the Machu Picchu thing is incredible. Just going to Peru at all is incredible. Traveling off your own continent is a dream come true for everyone. Like, it is an experience that everyone should try and do while we have the opportunity to do it. Anyway, they're doing the Machu Picchu, which is amazing. But I said, you gotta go fly over the Nazca Lines. You gotta see the Nazca Lines. Ancient lines and pictograms that stretch for miles. And there's hundreds of them scattered all over the landscape if you're not familiar with the Nazca Lines, which you should be. I mean, they're incredible. If you don't know what they are, I don't know what to tell you. But look them up, Google those two. Just amazing. Set there thousands of years ago by who knows who, for what purpose anyone can guess. Eric von Daniken thinks, of course, that they were put there as extraterrestrial runways or markers for UFOs. I don't know. I mean, there might be some validity in that theory. This story that came up about a UFO nearly striking a plane, a Cessna in Peru, reminded me of this trip she's going to take, because she gave me some information on some stories she's been reading, because she was looking into doing an air tour of the Nazca Lines. And something like 80% of the crashes that have happened there, maybe more, have crashed over the Nazca area, the Nazca Lines. In all of Peru. Yeah. Most of them take place right there over the Nazca Lines, which I think is incredible. Is there some sort of weird energetic anomaly that's taking place there? It's possible. But, you know, the probability, the odds of that many planes going down in that specific area is just odd. So, obviously, she's not going to be taking the Cessna up over the Nazca Lines. Now, when I go, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going up there to look at those Nazca Lines, and I'll probably do it in a hot air balloon. That would be awesome. Watch the video. The video shows a guy in a plane videotaping these lines, and then all of a sudden they go through this very dark cloud bank, which is really unusual in first of all, I have to say, because in that area, because it gets very little rainfall or moisture at all. So you see them going through this cloud bank, and all of a sudden you see this black blip, boop, pop up on your left and disappear. And you're like, oh, that was weird. Sky, must have just opened up. We saw a dark pocket of cloud, and that's it. But the video slows down, and you see it at 50%, then 25%, and then it's super slow, and then they do like a color inversion of a still frame, and lo and behold, it's an incredible image of a classic saucer, basically a bowl turned upside down. Is it legitimate? I'm not sure. I haven't investigated, and I just saw it for the first time here. But look for yourself. It's on the epictimes.com. Search for UFO in Peru, and it'll come up there. It's on YouTube. You can do a search there, too. Really incredible. Pink Floyd's David Gilmour has stepped in to pay for Gary McKinnon's psychiatric treatment. February 14th. This story came out on the register.co.uk. And a little backstory on Gary McKinnon. He was the hacker who in 2001 and 2002 became a victim. He actually hacked into NASA's system, and he's been kind of been on, I guess it would be put in trial for almost a decade now about what they want to do with Gary McKinnon, because what he found in these secret files in NASA is quite incredible. Now, he has Asperger's syndrome,